I'm not sure if my audio settings and everything are in place, and I've been burned plenty of times where I pretty much like did the entire session and went back on YouTube and noticed that it wasn't recording properly with all the voice and everything. So I'm hoping that I'm live without any issues. And it might take a second for me to figure this out because the YouTube app is not like super friendly, especially to kind of check your own stuff. Live. Come on. Okay. Looks like perfect. Got it. Nice. All right. Uh, Well, hello. It's been over a couple of weeks, I guess. I don't even know. It's been a while for sure since I did this. And this is RandomNet, where we dive into the randomness of internet and explore the absurd weirdness and sweet and fearful and hateful and internet. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this, you are familiar with how internet works, and internet is basically collection of us, all of us, you, me, and every other person on this planet. Well, not every other person, but whoever choose to be on internet, I guess. But even though, and also, I shouldn't be forgetting all the non-human personas on internet, like all the bots and other automated tools and whatnot. So it's kind of like a huge collection of everything. Uh, but within that everything, we can find like absurd content, pretty smart, intelligent content. I guess I should just transition to this screen here just to kind of paint a better picture. So these are some of the platforms which I kind of play around with. And as you can tell, like each of these platforms have such a huge contributions from, people in general. And the beauty of doing this is to just explore any of these platform and let the curiosity drive us, or me rather, wherever we go. So you are on this ride with me. So just wear your seatbelt. We are about to go on a spin. All right. IMDb. Well, that's on me. I mean, last time when I did this IMDb thing, I wasn't like super eager or enthusiastic to do it again, but I guess I should have taken removed it from the wheel before this, so it's on me, I guess. But that being said, look, let's see what's happening. Burning questions for the cat person. What is cat person? Is that like a new movie or something? Yeah, clearly I'm. So this is the one reason why I dislike Safari. Even though I know probably I can get like some sort of ad blocker or something, but my preferred browser for day-to-day use is Brave because it's Brave to use it. They have like good capabilities of blocking ads and also in turn reward you for with the attention token for your attention. So you know it's a win-win situation, and they're hybrid between Firefox and Chrome. So I mean, if you haven't checked it out, I strongly recommend that. Safari, I might have to check out like some of the ad blockers and whatnot because I hate it whenever any platform start playing ad. Well, there it is. 7.3 reviews, but only 17 people who reviewed it. And the cat person is a brief relationship between a 20-year-old sophomore college student Margaret and an older man Robert, who is a regular at the movie theater where Margaret works. Wow. Okay. What's so good about that? Well, Amelia Jones is Margaret, so that's good for sure. I like her. She was in Doctor Who, and she was fantastic. I remember, I believe she was with where that where did that go? Wait, there you go. 2013. What? Oh, it's okay. I might be dummy. Let's see. Emilia Jones. Okay, I clearly don't know her. I think I was confusing her with Emilia Clarke. Oh, well, Emilia Clarke was in Game of Thrones. Well, I am. Yeah, if you don't see it, I'm not so good with memory. Yeah, I was thinking of Jenna Coleman. Yeah, she. Yeah, but it's probably See, they both look like so similar. Uh, at least to me, they do. Yeah. So, Emily Emilia Jones starred in Cat Person. That kind of reminded me of what was that other movie? Cats, the story of cats or something. Yeah, this was terrible. At least the reviews on this one was terrible. Like 2.8, still 2.8 with 52,000 reviewers. I think the one of the worst show ever was Velma. Uh, yeah, I think its rating was 1.7, 1.3. Wow. Wow, with 45,000 reviewers. Let's check that out. Uh, I want to actually do opposite because clearly there are a lot of one stars here. So let's check with like 10 stars. Like what's going on with these people? Why did they think that it's worth 10 star? Cool. 10 stars. All right. Okay. Les Vaughn says, I don't think it's a 10 by 10, but the hate is unreal. So if you don't think that it's a 10 by 10, then why do you give 10 by 10? I mean, that itself kind of tells that you would just vote just for your ideology or whatever. But let's see. I can admit that there are awkward points in the writing, and it's a little choppy with the pacing, but it's not that bad. I like the spin on the characters, and I like a new taste on the Scooby Doo characters and story. And it's literally only been 4 episodes. I saw people getting offended by some of the jokes, but I swear I've heard worse from Rick and Morty. But nobody burns that beloved offensive show to the ground. But it's cheesy and has its funny parts, and honestly, a show you can watch and not take seriously. Not to mention, the animation is amazing. It switches when certain things happens and it flows really smoothly. My least favorite episodes was the fourth one, but it's not an undesirable like everyone made it seem. People need to get over a fear of change and relax and just zone out to a silly, unserious show. Literally chill. Well, uh, I don't know. I haven't seen any episodes, so maybe like this particular person connected with the show. Uh, but no, like the title says that I don't think it's a 10 by 10, so clearly they've been voting it just to kind of compensate for what they think other people are hatefully voting. All right, so think about it as a parody, okay? I think all the hate is coming. I think all the hate is because the perspective and the affection of the original show. I guess people wanted to see the origin of the gang mystery incorporation, but instead, you have a black comedy that has little to do with the show. The characters don't look that much alike physically, much less their personality, so if you watch this show as a parody of Scooby Doo, you'll enjoy it. The story is totally different of the original Scooby Doo, and it's not bad at all. I think it's funny, like watching Drawn together, or similar shows where characters are involved in absurd situations and everyone acts stupid. Let's move on. Learn humor, people. Okay. This show is hilarious. It's not a documentary, it's an over the top comedy. Relax. The first episode was a little slow, but it got some solid laughs in. The original is a show about four pothead kids driving around and solving mysteries with a talking dog. This new version is basically one character's self involved take of what happens. It's an origin story as told by the most overlooked character. Only fools would expect it to be identical to the original. All the hate hype about this seems like it's coming from people who didn't appreciate or even understand the original. Mysteries? Check. Drugs? Check. Free love? Check. It's the same show with less innuendo. Alright, a lot of these reviewers. I mean, let's check out like some of the 1 stars. Well, Anthony J. Langford says, worse than people say. I heard how bad this was, so had to see for myself. I was expecting to be laughing at how atrocious it was, but it's not even bad enough to laugh at. Like some terrible shows and movies. This was just so bad, it was hard to believe what I was watching. My mouth was open in astonishment at how revolting it was. How the hell did this get made? It's abysmal on every level. It's not even a train wreck. A train is on its way performing its duty before it crashes. This train never left the construction yard. Shame the idea did. The jokes aren't funny. It's not cool. It's not hip. It's the opposite. It's majorly offensive. Offensive for two reasons. One, for how terrible it is, and it is really bottom of the barrel terrible. And two, for its obvious sexism and racism. What an absolute insult. Really, to anyone with half a shred of respectability, I'm just staggered that this even exists. And to have it based on a children's decades long love series is just mind blowing. It's wrong. Shame on the exes who passed this giant steaming turd. Every single person involved with greenlighting and creating this show deserves to never work again. One of the worst programs ever made, without exaggeration. Wow, that's pretty what do you call? Pretty forceful. Like they say that it doesn't deserve to to work again. Pity. Should be on the top 10 worst TV shows of all time list. This was atrocious. I watched the entire first episode and did not laugh once. Not even a chuckle. The jokes were so juvenile, so heavy handed, and the premise so far removed from the original IP. It was embarrassing. I was checking my watch throughout the episode. They made 27 minutes feel like an hour. Will she ever find her mom? I do not know, nor do I care. Why is this series about sex, and what does any of the random sexual situations have to do with Scooby-Doo? I also don't know, nor care. Speaking of which, where is Scooby and Shabby? Shaggy, sorry. Shouldn't they be a part of this too? If the one kid is supposed to be Shaggy, I only assume because of his clothes, then I would like nothing to do with this alternate universe version of Scooby-Doo. Personally, I feel like HBO and Mindy Kaling owe everyone an apology for this abomination of a series. Wow. Now let's check some, maybe 6 stars. It's dumb and unnecessary, but it's fun, says a Dodson. Well, Velma is the latest Scooby-Doo show, without Scooby, that takes a highly different approach. And while there are things in the show that can feel too over the top, Velma succeeds quite a bit in having a fun tone and some genuinely funny moments. The good in the show I'll start with is the humor. Yes, not all of it lands, but it's kind of expected from comedy shows. Velma has a lot of funny moments, some so over the top and dumb that I actually had a laugh out of me. Mindy Kaling as Velma is actually pretty good for the most part, as is the other cast who also give solid performances. The animation is clean and I like the tone of the show. I like that it is more adult and it does succeed for the most part. Now, this is far from a perfect show. Some of the comedy can be too much. It feels like it's reaching far out of its own grasp. There's far too much satire that can get old after a while. The show also feels like it isn't sure what it wants to be. The tone, like I said, I like, but it also tries too hard to actual be creepy, and it does fail at it. Some side plots feel rather unnecessary, and some of the character changes feel weird. Overall, Velma is flawed and doesn't quite know what it wants to be yet. But it's not that bad. It's fun, funny, and does have potential. As of right now, I actually don't mind it. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna watch it for sure. Well, for once, I kind of rely on the wisdom of the crowd, especially before taking up any new show. I kind of like go online and check the reviews on both IMDb, mostly IMDb, and also Rotten Tomatoes, just to kind of see the general tone of the viewers. And with 45,000 reviews, what is 45 or something, 40,000 plus, yeah, 45,000 reviews. If it's 1.3, that means it's not good. uh, say what you will. I'm not gonna waste my time on this, but let's see. Let's go to Mindy Kaling profile and check out some of the other work she's done. The Office obviously is one of the best. Oh, I didn't know she was an Inside Out. What emotion did she play? Disgust. Okay. Wow, that's um the Muppets, Animals, Mindy Project. I'm not sure what this is about. I think I might have like read it. Oh wow, 7.5. That's seems like a good rating. So a young Jin doctor, I think gynecologist, I guess, balances her personal and professional life, surrounded by quirky coworkers in a small office. Okay. Seems, I mean, she is really creative. She was one of the writers on The Office and a lot of other funny shows as well. So let's see. Writer. What? Okay. Actress. All right. So never have I ever. And what's the rating of this? 7.9. And what's this about? The complicated life of a modern day first generation Indian American teenager girl, inspired by Mindy Kaling's own childhood. Okay. Wow, that's 7.9 is pretty good. The sex lives of college girls, 7.8. Yeah, look like those two seems pretty dramatic. Four weddings and a funeral. I wish they could just let us know, like, the rating from here itself. 7.2 with 5,000 people casting their reviews. And they even have Natalie Emmanuel. She is amazing. She was in Game of Thrones, if you don't know. Uh, yeah, that's. Well, I mean, I'm not into drama, so I'm obviously not going to watch that, but seems kind of. Seems like she written like a lot of good shows. What is this? 2019, The Office 2 episodes. What is this? The Misadventures of Boss Jagdeep. Oh, okay, okay. So this is the Indian version of The Office, and I think I might have like tried to watch like one of the episodes or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, um, you know, I'm not gonna watch this when I've watched the real deal. Uh, but also, like the Indian spin to this could be interesting. So is like some Korean The Office too, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. And obviously, The Office started with the British one. Uh, so this should be the original Office, created by Ricky Gervais, the Great, and Stephen Merchant. Who's this dude? I did hear about him a few times, so he must. Okay, Too Short. Life's Too Short. Okay. Nah. I don't know how, in what context I heard this name, but regardless, the original series of The Office also starred Gervais as the boss and the main character of the show. So it was only for two shows, and totaling 12 episodes. And oh, there was a German version titled Stormberg, ran for 46 episodes. Wow. Huh. I gotta check what its rating is on IMDb. Yeah, alright, whatever. 8.4. Nice. With little, yeah, well, over 9,000 people voted, so yeah, that looks good. What about what about the US adaptation? Obviously, we know, um, and then where is it? There gotta be like some references down here where they kind of show about like all the various adaptation of this. Okay, well, right here. So the office, wow, German, French language, uh, interesting. And there were like two different versions of that. Oh, one in Canada and one is like France. And then there was like one Spanish version of it in Spanish, of course. Um, it looked like all the creative people are various, right? And also people who played that, yeah. And then there is a Hebrew version, a Swedish version, Czech version, Finnish version, Hindi version, and Polish version. Wow. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 different 12 different versions of The Office. That's I doubt there is any other show with so many different versions of it. And clearly, like, it's not like it's dubbed or anything. It's it's created from like from from scratch, I guess. And obviously, I'm assuming they're gonna be incorporating like all the cultural thing within that respective country. But I thought there was a Korean version too. What? Uh, the queen. Wait, what? The Queen of Office, and the based on the 2007 Japanese drama. Okay, so this is different. Uh, maybe I misread, or I don't remember where I saw that. But Russian version is coming too. A Russian language version for with an initial run of 24 episodes was announced in 2008, but was never produced. Wow. Well, there are so many versions of it that we don't need more versions. But let's see Hebrew. I don't know why I picked up this one, but I wanna check the reviews for this version. 4.7. Okay, with less than like 5,000 people, I would assume. Wow, only 59 people. Damn. Hopefully, we can find some user review. Nope. clearly people didn't like it. But only 59 people even voted, so who knows how many people even watched it. Then, I mean, this doesn't even have its own Wikipedia page, so not sure if I should. Well, let's check the Polish version. The Office PL 6.8 with 284 people voting, or 285. This seems to be like pretty recent, 2021. Well, 6.8 is not, it's not like best, but it's not bad. I want to see the Canadian version. It better be good. 5.7. And it's still ongoing? Wow. So it's 2006 till like date. Nope. Looked like they had only one episode. Yeah. Just a pilot? No. Season 1, episode 8. What? What happened to the 1 to 7? Alright. La job. You got no job. What else? Yeah. Let's go back to Mindy. I want to actually, let's do this. Let's branch off from The Office. Wow, this is amazing. 9.0 with 610,000 people. Wow. That's a lot. Like over 500,000 people voted, and the rating is over 9.0. I kind of wonder if there are any 1 stars. Clearly there are 1.9. Let's check out what are these reviewers ranting about. Okay, on 14th March 2007, Peter Nangle says, I wanted to like this program, but I didn't. The few bright spots were in the first series when elements of the original were replicated. From there, it went downhill. The original might have seemed crass, but it actually had a great deal of subtle character development and comment on modern British culture. The US version used caricatures and stereotypes instead. Sorry, but it just isn't very good. The US can make excellent comedies such as Soap, Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and even Friends was worth watching prior to the last season or two. So why make rubbish remakes of British shows that are a pale shadow of their former selves? I suppose at least this wasn't so bad that it got cut after 3 shows or whatever, like many other remakes of good British shows. Coupling. Yeah, I like Coupling. I watched it like a while back, and I think the Coupling gives like a Friends vibe or something like that. What was the other show? This Peter was talking about Soap. 1977, and is it like a British show? No, it's an American sitcom. Okay. 8.2. How many people? 7.5 thousand. Okay. And the soap opera-ish antics of 2 families, the Campbells and the Tates. Interesting.
Problems. Chester Tate has problems. This is the story of 2 sisters, Jessica Tate and Mary Campbell. The Tates have a lot of money and a lot of problems. Chester Tate has problems with the health.
Benson, how many times do I have to tell you I am a diabetic? I can't have sugar.
Oh, I keep thinking it's salt you can't have.
I can't have salt either.
Ain't no salt in there.
Everyone in this house is one way or another totally deficient as a human being, and I get the zit.
The Tate children have their own problems just growing up.
Is it true you didn't come home last night? Your sister said you didn't come home. Who were you out with?
You don't know him.
Neither do you.
I guess I'll go to my tennis lesson.
And Jessica Tate's problems are just beginning.
Oh, my God.
The Campbells, on the other hand, have very little money, but just as many problems.
Danny, leave that bunch of Italian gangsters.
Everyone's always picking on the Italians. Anytime they find a dead guy in Brooklyn, right away, it's the Italians. They find a body in the trunk of a guy's car, it's the Italians. Well, I'm a sick of it. I'm a sick.
But you're not even Italian.
Don't tell me I'm not Italian!
I love you. So there's nothing in the world so terrible that I wouldn't understand.
Mary and Bert have problems communicating.
How in the world can I tell you I killed your husband and you'd understand?
While Jody has a problem that he rather enjoys.
Why don't you offer him some Fruit Loops? It'd be very appropriate.
Listen, you animal. I told you before, my brother is not the fruit. He's a practical joker with a wonderful sense of humor.
The Tates and the Campbells. They face their problems squarely
I'm considering getting a sex change operation.
Make it pass now.
and call it just another day in Connecticut. We call it soap.
Boy, this is a lot for one day.
Okay. Well, seems like it had like some punchy lines, but probably like, it was made in 1977 with that crowd in mind. Not sure how or if this kind of show would be made again. But I was trying to see if there are like any famous people. At least when I say famous, I mean like, people I would know. And doesn't look like it. I think I might have heard about Billy Crystal. Or have I? What works? Have he been part of Modern Family? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, just one episode, so. Well, clearly, no idea. But I did hear about that name. Yeah, that's my problem. Like I kind of sort of in conversations when I hear about like people's name, I haven't like I didn't grow up here, so I can't like connect the names with the photos or the the person. And when I kind of like doing this, for example, and come across that name, and I'm like, okay, where did I hear about them? But yeah. Well, Coupling, I watched it a few years back, and it was interesting. It was a good show. And they had like only 2 seasons, I guess. Yeah, 2 seasons. And it was great. I love British humor, so... and with 46,000 votes, wow. I wonder how many of them are, just from England or Britain, for that matter. Let's see. Let's do sort by. Is there an option to do like recent? Well, Pravinka says turns out to be an amazing Friends clone. Now keep in mind that I've only seen a few episodes on BBC America, but from what I have seen, I found Coupling to be filled to the brim with sex jokes. And while they may not be everyone's cup of tea, I'll admit the show is surprisingly humorous and fun to watch. Perhaps, needless to say, I will be tuning into future episodes. Did you, Pervinka? That was like back in 2002. And the latest comment, what? No. Why? Okay, let's see. 2022. Cool. The funniest show ever, says AlleyCat369. If you're looking for actual laughs from a TV show, this is the one. The cast is brilliant, especially Jeff, and the writing is so on point. If it's Steve's rants or sexual conversations at a funeral, this show really does encompasses it all. No topic is taboo, and that's a great thing. This series really is brilliant, and I always laugh out loud. Many shows don't bring out my hearty guffaws. American shows with their laugh tracks and lame jokes are okay if you live here. The British really have this comedy thing perfected. But yes, if you really want to see the brilliance, watch the episode The Man with Two Legs. I just wish the series had gone on longer. Not one bad episode. Watch it and thank me after. I mean, did I told you? Like, I honestly don't remember some of the like the details of the few episodes and whatnot. Like when she pointed about like what was that episode? Two legs or something. There you go. Wait, there was season 3 and season 4. Okay, but also, these are British shows, so only like 6 or 7 episodes. Yeah, which is kind of nice. Just to kind of like, well, not nice in the sense, uh, if you're just starting up, like having fewer episodes, kind of feel like okay, I can just watch it in maybe like a week or something. But if you have like, I don't know, like 15-20 episodes per season, then it could become painful. Like most of the American like comedy shows have like over 20 episodes, which is fine. It's still kind of like 20 minutes per episode, so it kind of comes down to give or take 13 hours. And a lot of like serious drama types, or even dramedy for that matter. A lot of them are like 40-ish minutes, so that still like, and maybe like 10 to 12 episodes per season. So that's also okay. But I believe there are some sitcoms which goes on forever, have like over 20 plus episodes, and each episode is like 45 minutes long or something. I mean, I bet The Flash, for instance, each each episode is like 43 minutes long, and there are like, if I'm not mistaken, there are like over 20 episodes per season. Episode 18, so yeah, close. Let's see if I go to like season 5. See, 22, and could be okay, but I don't know. Sometimes it's painful to watch it. I stopped watching Flash a while back, even though I don't even remember if I watched like its last season. I definitely skipped some of the seasons. Yeah, I think I might have seen some of this. Speaking of which, when is the next season coming? Because, it seems kind of like overdue. The start in like December. So unless it's cancelled or something, which I would not care. Like even if it's cancelled, come on. The show I want to watch right now is Invincible. I can't wait for the next season. So let's see, The Flash. The Flash season 9 is retconning 2 Arrow villains. Yeah, see? More drama, stupid drama. When is the next season airing? February 8th. So just a couple weeks. Speaking of which, Invincible. This is the show to watch. It's see, 141,000 reviews and 8.7. I mean, I think it deserves more than 9. And when is the next season coming? Hopefully in the spring of let's see, Edward Sanders. Okay, Invincible is coming back in 2023 for season 2, but when is it coming? Gonna be all cryptic. Season 2 is set to be released in late 2023. Seriously? Who come on, Robert. You should like just scrap the Walking Dead series. That's the worst series right now. I mean, and dedicate all of your attention and time to the Invincible. I don't even know if Robert is still on the Walking Dead team. He has also written a number of episodes. Yeah. Let's see if he left the Walking Dead team. I hope he did, because that show is now kind of a disaster. The Destroyer. Okay, so he's a creative person and do a lot of comics. 2013, whatever, Kirkman was a produced science fiction heir. What? Norman Reedus was in this movie. I think this probably, flopped at the box office. Um, yeah, 5.1. What is it about? In the near future, breathable air is non-existent, and two engineers tasked with guarding the last hope for mankind's struggle to preserve their own lives while administering to their vital task at hand. Okay, well, why did people hated it? Well, a lot of 5 stars. So let's check out the 5 stars. Illogical and annoying. Okay, I can see that. But also it's hard to see that because Robert Kirkman, he's like good at making sure that the story doesn't have holes. But let's see. I just can't forgive lazy writing. The plot was good but wasn't delivered effectively. I don't blame the acting, though it's hard not to see Norman as Daryl, especially as he's rocking the same look as the Walking Dead series. Essentially, I found it hard to believe that Boar descends so quickly into a murderous rage when the sleep pod malfunctions and almost kills him. When he reviews the footage and sees Cartwright was almost catatonic at the time, surely his first impression would be to confront him about his delusions. Why the hell would they pump air into that huge facility each time they wake up, when two people would use a fraction of the air by wearing suits and breathing bottled air? This is the most glaring logic flaw. You could last for days on the air remaining inside the facility without any recirculation machinery running. How does Cartwright get all the way to the top of the silo and look out over the broken city and then get back in time? It looks like the site was nuked, so how does their silo survive without a single indication? It is right next door to the destroyed one. How does Cartwright survive getting shot? How does Barr knows it's all a lie when they have no way of knowing if the other facilities are online or not? Too many questions, too many failures of logic. All right, my guy, I buy whatever you kind of like posted here. I think there are. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to watch the movie, but it seems like plausible. There seems to be like a lot of logical holes within the story, and especially when it comes down to sci-fi, the writer or producer, or not the producer, the director especially, got to be like really more detailed, I guess. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this because I have not produced single. Well, I haven't. Well, I kind of produced my own show, and I also kind of sort of directed my own sketches, but that's not the same, obviously. I'm not equating that, but what I'm getting at is like most of the time, if there are like holes within the plot, then then it becomes painful to watch. I don't know where I was going with that thought, so I'm just gonna skip. Let's see, what else did Robert Kirkman working on? In 2020, he was granted a special award. Okay. Kirkman pitched the story of Renfield, a horror comedy about Count Dracula, henchman Renfield. The film was announced by Universal Pictures in November 2019. It is directed by Chris McKay and stars Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage as Renfield and Dracula. Okay. Oh, it's going to be releasing in a few months. Let's check out the official trailer.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you okay? I need to get out of a toxic relationship.
Why don't you start by telling us what brought you here?
My boss, he's different.
You can't get him out of your head.
No.
I need your assistance.
I'm coming, Master! Oh, you feel like he could destroy you with the snap of his fingers. Wouldn't even need to snap. Okay.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, what?
Renfield, bring me innocent victims. I want a handful of nuns, a busload of cheerleaders.
And I just want a normal life again. But this modern world is a dangerous place.
Thank you. You saved my life. Did I watch you cut a guy with a decorative serving platter?
It's in the wrist.
Let me explain.
My boss gave me this power. In return, I tend to his needs, including care, feeding.
You bring in people to eat? You're like the guy that gets the villain's Postmates.
But if you were to stop focusing on his needs, what would happen?
He won't grow to full power.
Exactly. He won't grow to full power. What? That's so weird. Why would you phrase it like that? But yes! Hi, are you here for the meeting? Well, come on! No!
Some call me the Dark One, others the Lord of Death. To most, I am Dracula.
Okay, obviously we're dealing with a little bit more than just narcissism here.
Now, let's eat.
Well, I like the premise, so, and made by Robert Kirkman, so hopefully it's gonna be good. But who is Renfield, historically speaking? I mean, like historically in the sense, not that it's a real person per se, but just the character. So R.M. Renfield is a fictional character who appears in Bram Stoker's 1897 gothic horror novel Dracula. He is Count Dracula's deranged, fanatically devoted servant and familiar, helping him in his plan to turn Mina Harker into a vampire in return for a continuous supply of insects to consume and promise of immortality. Throughout the novel, he resides in an asylum where he's treated by Dr. John Stewart. Okay. So is Bram Stoker the one who created the character of Dracula? Was an Irish author who is celebrated for his 1897 novel Dracula. During his lifetime, he was better known as a personal assistant of actor Sir Henry Irving. Why does this name sound familiar? J.H. Irving was an English stage actor in the Victorian era, known as an actor-manager because he took complete responsibility for season after season at the West End's Lyceum Theatre. Okay. Dracula. So, Dracula disambiguous. I wanna see if there's like some sort of other reference of Dracula before 1897. Be kind of interesting to check. What does well, I don't want to, I don't even know. Count Dracula is a title character, yeah, 1897 again. When was Dracula first mentioned? Yep, so in that book. Obviously not a real person. But I am kind of curious if there was like some sort of what do you call, like some sort of like a biblical or maybe like even other religious version of that. Well, look like we are close to 50 minutes mark, so we have like 10 more minutes before I'm gonna wrap this up. But Bram Stoker claimed that parts of Dracula were real. Here's what we know about the story behind the novel. There are mysteries that man can only guess, at which age by age may only solve in part. Bram Stoker. In the summer of 1890, a 45-year-old Bram Stoker entered the subscription library in Whitby, England, and requested a specific title, The Accounts of Principalities of Wallachia and Moldavia. Okay. Is that like reference to something? Okay. And this was with various political observations relating to them by William Wilkinson. Okay, and what? All right, so is William Wilkinson like the character on which Dracula was based? Let's see. This wasn't a title found readily on the shelves or typically made available to the general public. The library didn't even make it known they possessed the rare book. Access was only granted to those who asked for it. Patrons handled the title only under the watchful eye of the librarian, and it was returned to its resting place the moment business concluded. Upon receipt of the book, Stoker didn't read it cover to cover or browse the text. He opened the page to a specific section, made notes in his journal, and returned the tome to the librarian. He stopped next to the Whitby Museum, where he reviewed a series of maps and pieced together a route beginning in the heart of London and ending upon a mountain top deep within the wilds of Romania. A latitude and longitude previously noted in his journal and confirmed again this very day. From the museum, Bram then made his way to Whitby Harbour, where he spoke to several members of the Royal Coast Guard. They provided details of a sailing vessel, the Dimitri, that ran around a few years earlier on the bench inside the protective harbour, with only a handful of the remaining crew alive. The ship, which originated in Varna, an Eastern European port, was carrying a mysterious cargo, crates of earth. While investigating the damaged ship, rescue workers reported seeing a large black dog, consistent with a Yorkshire myth of a beast known as Barghast, escape from the hull of the ship and run up to 199 steps from Tate Sands Beach into the graveyard of St. Mary's Church. Stoker looked up at the church, at Whitby Abbey looming beside it on the cliff. In his mind's eye, he pictured the dark chamber at the top of the central tower. Opening his journal, he turned to the information he had written down back at the library, which is something like this. Voivodi, which is Dracula, I don't know. Dracula in Wallachian language means devil. Wallachians were accustomed to give it as a surname to any person who rendered himself conspicuous either by courage, cruel,